Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is the Boom Bar right here on your Boom Radio NG. My name is Dolupo and and welcome to the bar today. Today promises to be a very interesting one. We're going to be talking about a lot of things. In fact, I would say that a lot of issues that we're going to be talking about today is bordering a lot on politics. A lot of politics issues are there. Shout out to people that did CBEX. Apparently, a lot more people did a lot of things that you realize that a lot of people are involved in a lot more things that you know. Some of us, I don't know, maybe we'll say that maybe the kind of people that you're around, you just don't hear some things. It could, at this point, it's looking like it's a blessing in disguise. But anyway, that and a lot of other things are things we're going to be talking about today. There's a breakdown of a lot of things. The NBA had replied, the Rivers government. There's been a lot of back and forth also with people's reactions and all that and you know, quite a number of other things we're going to be talking about today. So sit back, relax and enjoy. If you're just joining the Boom Bar, this is the Boom Bar, literally, where we bring you everything sports, politics, and everything in between. And everything in between can really be anything in between, depending on where the gist carries us to. But with me in the studio today, as usual, is not me alone. It is I and Sola Rogers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Boom Bar.
Okay, so we're getting ready into today's first things first. Nigeria's oil output dropped to 1.4 million barrels per day in the month of March, and it's safe to say that it's kind of understandable because, you know, with the kind of things that had happened in the past couple of months, in a couple of weeks actually, in Rivers State, and the other one that was, I think, shut down in Bayelsa and all that. It was kind of expected that this kind of thing would have happened.
It was, something that you saw coming. Nigeria has, in recent times, ramped up its daily output of crude oil, largely due to a lot of things that have been put in place, and solely because there is a target that the government has set for itself, you know, to be able to fund part of the budget, but also to be able to carry out its agenda. Now, politics is affecting it. We saw the output affected in Delta State when there was this Shekiri protest where they shut down one of the flow stations. We saw the Fubara actions. Of course, he says he knows nothing about it, but there were some militants that had gone out and blown up the pipeline. That was rectified almost immediately, though it took them a couple of days, but I think they got back on stream. It's bound to happen. Again, the tariff wars globally is also affecting the value, the cost of a barrel of crude now. So many things. So apart from output dropping, the outlook too might be funny by the time you look at the effect of Donald Trump's tariff regime. So it's a sad one for Nigeria, though, saying that there was a target that they were trying to meet.
Yeah, so it's kind of, we'll see if this would continue, or would I say maybe this most of those things had been rectified, but hopefully there might be an upshot. But also remember that there's also now the drop in cost of crude. I know that I think that according to Nigerian the 2025 budget, I think the benchmark is $75 per barrel. I think the per barrel has now dropped to as low as $60. So that was day. But anyway, I wanted us to,
on the bright side, that should affect the pump price of petrol and diesel.
We're waiting. Anyway, moving on from that quickly, and we're going to Nigerians and Ponzi scheme. Why I said Nigerians and Ponzi scheme, it's like, I think that it's safe to say that most Nigerians don't learn. And a lot of people have had a lot of things to say. A lot of people have said, oh, it's poverty that makes people still go back to do some of these things. Another school of thought thinks that it's greed. Another set of people think that, oh, people are just, some people are gullible and they just need help. Like a lot of people, it's ignorance. Let me put it like that. Not gullibility, there is ignorance and all that. First things first, this whole matter started, I think, when people started going off that there was a supposed CBEX platform. Why are you shaking your head?
You know, reach to shake it.
That had shut down. Honestly, that was I think a few days ago was the very first time I ever heard about CBEX. And I would say that because maybe I'll say that maybe my circle, my kind of friends, or the kind of people that I interact with, because if I know somebody that maybe was involved, maybe somebody, because I heard that they claim that it's all those pyramid things, bring this person, bring that maybe someone, if I had known someone, maybe someone might have introduced it to me or something. So I never heard about it until I heard that apparently they shut down. So from what I gathered, CBEX is supposed to be an investment platform that crashed a few days ago. It said that over $935 million, so we're looking at about 1.5 trillion naira roughly, was allegedly moved to a private wallet, and users' balances dropped to $0 right before their eyes. They said that the platform is now officially seen as it actually was a Ponzi scheme. According to also what a few people had to say, people had said that what the issue, because I actually even saw a video which was done a few months ago where they were advertising on the radio station, and they were talking about 100% ROI, some ridiculous amounts of money as returns, and some people actually got some of them, which is what happens with Ponzi schemes. The people that start with them, because the more you bring people in, they use that money to pay people off. And anyway, basically, some nameless people seem to have wiped out people's money. I saw a video of a lady that sat in front of her office that just got back from Libya, and all the money she had worked for in Libya, about $1,000, was gone poof. I saw a video of a woman that was making fun of her mother, that her mother had just joined 5 days before the CBEX crashed. I'd seen the videos and pictures of, there was talks of someone owning as much as $68,000 in it. A lot of people, I saw a video of, skip maker who claims that that people that are shouting about CBEX, they have no idea that it's people that are not talking, those ones that they know what they were doing, and they can't come out to say, oh, my money was involved, that they are the ones that are the worst, most hurt. I saw another video where they were trying to save a lady that wanted to jump down from a story building because it said that she has about 50 million naira in CBEX and is gone poof. I just want to ask one question first. Where are you getting all this money from? I thought Nigeria was,
Nigeria, jaga jaga. That's what a lot of people have been saying.
And y'all have so much money to put in a Ponzi scheme. So now my question, is it poverty? Is it ignorance? Is it guilt? Is it greed? Or is it gullibility?
It's everything. It's everything that you mentioned and then some. It's different strokes for different folks. For some people, it's a combination of some of those words. For some, it's just one single word. You get. I saw a video of a guy in the Holy Land praying. Praying that CBEX should survive and that it should work and everything. Meaning that you also know, you have it at the back of your mind that this thing is not solid. Because I'm not going to put my money in a real bank or some kind of real investment and be praying for the investment to work. I would have been convinced before putting my money there. A few days ago, we were here at the bar talking about a law about Ponzi schemes. I'm sure it's not up to a month.
Yeah.
We're here talking about it.
Yes.
And here we are, barely a few weeks after, and out of nowhere. In fact, I started looking at myself like, 10 is happening, no? 10 is happening. That there's this kind of thing going on, and people are saying, that they all know how they've been making money from it.
As in,
there are people who...
Apparently, people made a lot of money.
They've also gone ahead again to get their churches involved. They've gone ahead... Yes. Some guy was talking about how they have a group and the guy brought everybody in the church into it and they are there, their money is there and all of that. In fact, the guy that was praying in America was saying that everybody knows that that's how they are all flexing now and this is what they do to flex and have money and I'm like, wait a minute. Do you guys really think before you do these things? I understand the people who would be sitting on their home before trailer will come to jam them. I get that part where someone you love or trust comes to you and says, look, I just made X amount. This is an example. And if you give me X amount, I can also make that amount for you. And you look at it and like, well, this person cannot be lying to me. I trust this person. You get? There are people like that. Blind trust. You understand? Remember, you called it blind. And a blind person that is not being led well will fall. You will fall. We just don't know how far you will fall.
Yeah.
So apologies to people who are non-sighted. It's just a way of driving home this serious matter that we're discussing. Because now, we're seeing a lot of backlash and people are parrying. And we're saying to ourselves, all the while when you people were making this money, who did you tell?
I've never even heard of this CBEX in my life.
To the point where there was a story that was flying around yesterday talking about how they got a message on their Telegram. They have a Telegram group that some of them belong to, that they should not worry that for those of them who had lost. And you see they wrote lost there. That you use $100 to activate your money if your money is under $800.
They should pay another $100. Okay.
And I said to myself, I know some people will pay this money.
So
they had the level of gullibility.
So I know that people are gullible,
and greed.
Okay, so I know that I've not spent quite a number that many years on this planet Earth. But I remember there was a family member that was involved in Pennywise. Then I remember the matter of MMM. In fact, that MMM, quite a number of people had they had asked me to join, and it became really popular. MMM was all over. I just nah, like it was just nah. And the funny thing is, and I think this maybe let me be honest, Nigerians will not listen, but we shall say our own. It's something not once, not twice that has always been said. The minute the ROI is ridiculous, anything that's giving you 40, 50, in fact, anything that's giving you 30% ROI, and it's not just the return on investment, the timing, they'll tell you it's giving you 50% ROI in 1 month. What are you doing? Even oil does not give you that kind of. Have you even finished carrying the oil from one place to another in 1 month?
How now?
Do you understand? And I'm like, we need to, maybe there needs to be more information. And why I said that, I know that maybe Nigerians will not listen, is because we're all in this country. It's going to be very hard for someone to say that they didn't hear about the scam of MMM.
It will be rare, but
it
it's
will
possible.
be rare.
But it's
But
possible.
you still went ahead again. After all the drama of MMM, you still went ahead again and still put your hard-earned money. Because I also believe that some of this money is not hard-earned. Because if they are hard-earned money, it's going to be difficult for you to leave your hand, though. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just a stingy person. I'm sorry.
No, it's not even about being stingy at all. It has nothing to do
It just
with,
does not make any sense.
with being stingy.
How you have all your life savings into something that least check.
Some guy was talking about
no
how
insurance on it, no nothing.
how someone sold like acres of land.
You're a greedy person. That's just mean. You're just a greedy human being. How do you sell land to? And then apparently they got some message that April 15th that their money was going to come back to them.
Mm-hmm.
But today is April 15th.
I saw a screen grab for someone's account. I don't know if it's false, but $68,400. I'm like, oh, more people get money for this country.
How do you go? And you know, we talk about it all the time. How people go to what's the word? Go to all these funny countries and do all sorts of things. So you basically go through slave labor and slave trade and all sorts of inhumane things to make money. You come back to Nigeria, you have $1,000. That's about 1.5 million naira. And you dump it in CBEX. See, $1,000 or maybe 1.5 million naira might be, let me be honest, might be actually be small for someone, maybe for someone like me to start a business, depending on the business I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
However, even that one that I'm claiming that is small, there are businesses that even I will do for 1.5 million naira and I will make profit.
A big shout out to the local government chairman or administrator or mayor of Ikosi. I think is it Ikosi Sherry, the guy that built the estate. That my K2 it's K2 Access. I'm sorry I mixed up the name now. It's not Ikosi, it's K2 something. Yeah. Today they're currently giving out about 75,000 to maybe like 1,000 people or so. Before they started that, he sent people out to the streets to speak to traders, and on the average, traders were talking about how the entire value of what they were selling was like maybe within 30 to 40,000 naira.
Exactly.
So when you get 75,000 naira to boost your business, you can do quick turnovers and everything.
So, and we're not talking about 1.5 million naira. See, 1.5 million naira will buy you drinks that you can retail. 1.5 million naira is gold that you will not buy. Will start you a small jewelry business, and all you need is Instagram. 1.5 million naira would do it's really food business. It's a lot of money
if you get on TikTok now, there are people from China who are dropping updates like crazy.
How to sell? You will sell clothes. You don't have to sell expensive clothes. You will sell bags. You will sell shoes, slippers. With 1.5 million naira, you will start a small business.
There's a lady on Instagram that organizes this trade fair thing, and I think she's doing one in collaboration with Lagos State government very soon. She has this nice name on Instagram, and they more or less help you boost your business locally. You get. I saw another lady last week that sells fruits on Instagram and Twitter now. She was talking about how much she was spending on adverts and she was making her money back. Do you understand? We need to be real with ourselves.
We need to get creative. We're looking for quick turnovers, and there's nothing like that in the world. And like I said, we are still going to be at this bar or somewhere else and have a conversation in the next couple of months and next couple of years, because if we go by antecedents, people never learn.
I have a friend who's doing very well when it comes to MCing in Nigeria. He's one of the biggest in this country. It's just opening a water bottling factory not far away from here. Why? Why not just relax and be enjoying the money he makes every weekend or weekdays itself at times? Do you understand? But because we need multiple streams of income, and because as human beings we need to also work, you know. So this is a clarion call to people. If you are actually able to come across this much funds, why don't you do a lot of research and invest in things that you can control?
See, if worst case scenario, if you're a lazy person like me, go and buy federal government treasury bills.
That's another legitimate investment.
See, investments are so easy these days that there's so many shares you can buy, so many things you can do, that don't let one person now come and be using, and then they literally just woke up and poof, their money in the air. It's wrong.
Those guys actually had an office.
Offices.
CBEX had an office in Ibadan that was being looted.
Oh
yesterday.
yeah, it was being looted, and the thing is that I get it. They said that there's security agencies that have stopped people from looting that place this morning. Now you want people are going to loot the place. What is the value of people that can?
Yeah, maybe some people they'll make their money back. I saw a guy with the AC.
Maybe his money is not plenty. Maybe
there are people like that.
Because the truth is, apparently, a lot of people put a lot of money. They're talking about to the tune of 1.5 trillion naira.
Allegedly, unconfirmed.
Are you? See, Nigerians just stress me out, and I will not even lie. Nigerians.
Please be careful out there. We beg of you, be careful out there. You know, the funny thing is, this kind of scams are now on the rise.
I've seen people. Just saw a video now that people, not once, not twice, I've seen people literally crying.
Yeah.
Over this, someone literally saw a video, and I don't think it's a skip, because the lady was literally hanging by a thread, and people were she was going to commit suicide, and said that she had charged, this was all the money. Another person said he had invited other people, basically borrowed money from people to put in this thing. So, come on now. We can't continue like this. Nigeria is bad. Again, you saved up money. Again, now you're even back to square one. You're even worse off because you don't even have anything else. Some people are even now owing on top of it. Again,
please, if you hear about another scheme like that, can you at least check if they have some kind of CBN verification?
Yeah, at least NDIC, SEC,
all those research and everything before putting your money in it. Please be careful, people, because I get that pull. I understand it. I understand that thing clearly. I get, in some cases, even peer pressure. Like I said, blind trust at times. But again, there's the innate greed of some people, not everybody. But even if you're greedy or not, now everybody's lost money. And not just small money, a lot of money.
A lot of money.
And I think this thing would have continued if they were not casted online. If one or two people are like, look, this thing doesn't sound real, and it became a talking point.
So was that what happened, and then it just took people's money and left?
Why is it coincidental that it was the day someone was like, all you people that are putting money in this thing, please be careful. And the next day, nobody could access the platform anymore. Wow. And the person was just trying to warn people, and they now tried to pin it on that guy. But the guy fought back and like, you guys are being dumb here. I'm pointing out that you know. Oh. So is it coincidental? They probably would have continued scamming more people, because you know the funny thing about it is that they start small and go big.
Apparently. Anyway, moving on for that. Shout out to CBEX people. No, I'm not. This is not even a shade. I'm just accept my condolences. My heartfelt condolences.
And you say it's not a shade.
It's not a shade because I think that a lot of people are going through a lot of issues right now.
Well,
accept my heartfelt condolences.
It's not what they say, it's how they say it in Dolupo's case.
Accept my
condolence. This does not sound like a condolence at all.
Anyway, moving on from that. There might not be power in the next couple of weeks as GenCos are threatening to shut down. They're saying that the federal government is owing them up to 4 billion naira.
Nah, I thought it was trillion.
No, trillion. No, sorry, it's not BO. Tree. My bad.
Mm-hmm. So it's funny how the Nigerian government is in some kind of quagmire now. They're trying to fully deregulate and restructure the power sector, and of course we all know that now the states have the ability to issue licenses and all of that. But you see, the GenCo, like Dolupo and a lot of us call them, are the generating companies. If you understand the entire power generating sector of Nigeria, from the GenCos, the generating companies, to the Trancos. Nobody has ever called them that. The transmission company, from that to, of course, the clubhouses, the discos, So the GenCos now, things got better when the Band A was introduced because now the distribution companies had more funds to pay. You get. But the Band B, C, D is still subsidized. Even if the gaps are not much between them, it's still subsidized. You get. And the idea is that if you are enjoying 20 hours of power plus in a day, you are definitely on Band A and you are paying the full, cost of power generation. But your Band B that is supposed to be 16 hours a day about is supposed to be cheaper than that. But what I'm hearing is that in a few months' time,
everybody will know
Band B will become A2. All the Band Bs will be moved to A.
Oh, they will?
Or their rates will go up.
Yeah,
which
I
means
think
that government will reduce.
Ready that everybody's rates will now become
government
different.
Is going to reduce the subsidy that they are paying on all these other bands.
Which I think is fair. It's not because what's happening now is not fair on Band A people.
The companies, the GenCos and the discos, are not at liberty to invest more into the business because it's heavily regulated. And they are asking for more. And they're saying that you should go and compare their prices with other parts of Africa. Don't even go outside Africa, even West Africa, and say that according to them, they're saying that Nigerian power is arguably the cheapest. You get. But Nigerians don't want to hear that because we are used to a life of subsidy. We have been subsidized a lot. So the old prices are the things that we are still clinging on to, the old price of petrol, the old price or the old value of the naira as against the dollar, and of course the power cost of power. So as it stands now, while government is trying to increase output and increase the effective evacuation of power that has been generated, they also now need, to be able to sell the idea that power will go up even if it has not increased as much as you want it to. So it's a tight corner that the government will find itself any moment from now, and I'm sure that will bring some backlash of some sorts.
Okay, so now we'll see where all that drama is going to go, yeah? But moving on from that, another very interesting thing. Okay, before we get to that, just wanted to put this out there actually. So the contactless Nigerian passport renewal process that has been going on for months apparently is also not started in Nigeria still. I thought that the minister said it was starting in March. However, they've now launched in the United States, Mexico, Jamaica, and Brazil, and they're saying that it's in Nigeria and Australia is going to happen very soon. I still don't understand how come other countries are enjoying what Nigeria can. I get the data issue, but it still doesn't make any sense to me.
My simple take on that would be that all those places, they don't have as many people, they don't have as much data to impute as they do for Nigeria. Like, you know, the low-hanging fruits. How many Nigerians would require contactless passport registration in Canada as compared to Lagos alone? Do you understand? Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking maybe that's what they are doing. While they are rolling out in phases, you know, and building up their capacity, they are also building capacity to be able to roll out fully in Nigeria. No. This is what I think is going on. It's not an official statement or anything from anybody. It's just a thought.
Just a thought. Okay, just wanted to put that out there. Now, sadly, about 51 people were killed in Plateau State in fresh attacks. The governor had convened his security meeting, saying that he's really sorry about what happened. He's back in Benue now. He's back in Plateau now. I saw a lot of people on social media going off on him. I think it was in Ibadan for like 2 days for the PDP conference and PDP Governors conference. And a lot of people were like, okay, what's he still doing there? He should have gone back to his state and all that. Anyway, I think there was a statement that was credited to the president as well.
Yeah, he said enough is enough.
But it's just sad. It's just honestly sad. Apparently, they're also saying that I've seen interviews that some people in the area are saying that it's some level of extremism, that some extremists want to take over their land.
Well, you cannot argue with the people who are on ground. It's their land, it's their life, their experience. They're the ones going through it at the moment. And most times you find out that when you get closer to them, you get more information about what's going on. For real. I just thought that the army was getting better. The entire military network in Nigeria was getting better. The military apparatus was getting better, and boom, out of nowhere you hear there's been talk of a mass burial. You know, 51, a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. 51. I think it's sad.
This government has to show us that it's really serious about governance. If it means opening up 10 military establishments there, because the police cannot, it's obvious the police cannot do this by themselves.
It's definitely obvious.
It's obvious that the joint task force is required, and beyond the joint task force, you also need the civilian JTF and all hands on deck in a situation like this. You know, we can't continue to say that we want a better nation and the Nigerians who cannot sleep with two eyes closed, and because you are far away from them, you feel disconnected. This is something that the government must show that it's serious, that it's actually serious about the job it begged to do.
Yeah.
And if they know they're out of debt, then they should say so.
Yep. Now, still talking about states, another very interesting thing happened in Benue State. So I think this matter to me started when I saw a proclamation from the governor of Benue State, which, if you really follow the news, he's not someone that you hear a lot from him. That's Reverend Father Alia. And what he was saying, basically, that was a few days ago, was that he's not expecting any visitor, and he cannot guarantee anybody's safety if he was not informed anybody was coming. And I was wondering, like, okay,
it was being,
what was
he said VIP? He didn't just say ahead.
So I was wondering, because I honestly did not know what he was talking about or who he was referring to. Only for me to say a statement from the Labour Party presidential candidate, Peter Obi. So apparently Peter Obi wanted to go to some
Plateau and
IDP
Benue
camps
State.
and Plateau and Benue State. And he now stopped his journey to Benue State because of what the governor had said.
Yeah, and this has now become some kind of naughty issue on social media. People are weighing in. You know, a lot of Peter Obi supporters feel aggrieved that the governor, said the things that he said, and they're not happy. And of course, Peter Obi in his own is saying that, look, I'm just going to help. You know, I want to help.
So I want to ask you a question,
like he always does, and all of that. You know, that's what he's saying.
And this is not, it's not picking anybody's side. We were here at the bar when the governor of Bayelsa made kind of a very close call that basically even banned some rallies, and that they cannot even use some certain places in the state because somebody was coming to the state. What's the difference?
The difference is that the rally requires a crowd, which requires more security personnel. The difference is that tempers are already flaring in the South. There's this unwritten rule about how there's some kind of tribal sentiment fueling what's happening in Rivers State, knowing that Wike is from one side of Rivers and Fubara is from another side. All of this culminates in something that is potentially volatile.
No, so now you don't understand my point.
It's not the same thing.
What I mean by, I'm not saying
No, you said what's the difference?
I'm not saying the cause. I'm saying the proclamation, like the governor saying, I cannot, what's it called? If I'm not informed, you cannot come, or even if you come, I cannot determine your security, or another saying, don't come at all. Now the question is, do governors have those kind of powers? If they do, and a governor says, don't come, should it be an issue? That's where I'm coming from.
The governor is the chief security officer of the state. The governor convenes, the military, the joint military committee meetings that they have, where in every state, the highest ranking officers are a part of that committee, you get. So it's easy for us to say, Lagos is not safe. Sanwo-Olu, what are you doing? Do you understand? It's easy for us to say, there's trouble in Kano. What's the governor of Kano doing? Because you want them to take responsibility. Why is Sheyi Makinde allowing this to happen? Last year, when some people said they were declaring their own country, Sheyi Makinde clamped down on them. At least one house was demolished. Do you understand? It shows you that the governors are expected to be in charge of security.
Okay.
So if the governor of Bayelsa says, I can't guarantee your safety, I can't guarantee your safety. If the governor of Benue says it, then he can't. According to the governor of Benue, he was talking about how, of course, before you even visit the IDP, there are some agencies in the state that you're supposed to notify and everything. And being a Peter Obi, his movement is deemed as a VIP movement. Even if he wants to go without the trappings of being a VIP, it is still regarded as that. However, looking at what happened in Benue a few hours ago, and knowing the proximity of Benue
Plateau.
In Plateau, and knowing the proximity of Benue to Plateau, and how Benue also has its own fair share of all of this crisis, it is understandable, and it should not be politicized, but it has already been
politicized. Yeah.
And tempers are flaring now. In fact, people are even throwing shade at Peter. Will be like, "Oh, you keep going to everywhere. What about the ones in your own domain where you are from? How well are you, going there to check on them and all of that?" Because there's this allegation that whenever something happens in the southeastern part of Nigeria, that he just goes mute, doesn't really say anything about it, doesn't go there and all of that, according to what people are saying, and as against when the other places. So all of this just shows a politicization of if his presence is going to help one or two people get blessed, I don't have a problem with it. But he should also know that it has to be done
properly.
Yeah.
Okay, now since we're still on states, we're going all the way to Rivers State, and yesterday we saw the Sola administrator of Rivers State, retired Vice Admiral Ibas, basically asked the NBA to return the 300 million naira that was given to them for the hosting of the NBA conference. Yesterday evening, after we left the bar, the NBA had replied and said that 300 million naira was a gift from the suspended governor to them, and it was not about hosting. And this answer has seemed to have caused a lot of back and forth. Before we even go to what people's reactions, when you read that, what was your own reaction to that?
I was extremely disappointed in the entire NBA, the Nigerian Bar Association, saying that as lawyers, they understand the law, and there's no crime against gifts.
No.
But what is wrong, in this whole scenario, is that beyond the legality of a gift, it's the morality or immorality of a gift. This is
according to the NBA,
this is someone's wife.
So according to the NBA and the planning committee of I think the chairman of the planning committee, they're saying that it's not the first time that they get gifts from different states and different bodies to help them their conference, and even that does not even mean that because you gifted them, you're going to be.
We said all of that.
It's going to be in their state. So it was just a gift.
We said all of that. We said it here yesterday that if you know what happens behind the scene and all of that. But what I'm referring to now is the morality or immorality of that gift, in the sense that that there is some conflict between, let's say, two people, and one of them gives you a gift, and you are seen defending the other one that gave you a gift. You are defending. Doesn't that sound like some kind of quid pro quo?
So, the president of the Africa Public Interest Lawyers Union, Andrew M. Wata, has now asked the Nigeria Bar Association, who's a lawyer himself, is head of a group of lawyers, saying that there are quite a number of things wrong with NBA's statement. They said, number one, that gift or not, that with the situation of things, and in his words, there's no proper way to do the wrong thing.
Yeah.
That the proper thing is to save the image of the profession, and the money should be refunded. In his books, it says that it is, in his words, it is Rivers taxpayers' money. If you are not doing business with them, return their money.
It's straight up.
He also added that, like you said, the morality of the way it looks, and that he was also taken aback when the emergency rule was announced, and how quickly the NBA had responded. And like, okay, calm down. So now it's looking like it's because you got money from this person, that going forward, how do you not want to hold yourself to a standard, hold anybody else to a standard, if the lawyers themselves?
Yeah, at least one of them was seen on TV, really, speaking.
Yeah, also he added that even the movement of the place, yes, you don't even want to do it in Rivers anymore, that there's also beginning to look like there's an ethnic coloration with the excos of NBA. That why Enugu State? Why not Abuja? Why not Oyo State? If you claim that you have the money for the conference anyway.
Enugu has a new conference center.
Okay.
Brand new, spanking new.
Okay.
And they just want to have it in a nice place with great ambience.
Okay.
Enugu also has a lot of hotels that people.
Nobody else has hotel.
No, I'm just saying Enugu can't qualify.
I'm not saying they can't qualify. I'm just saying what this man said.
Remember that they said that they don't sell their hosting rights.
They don't.
They don't.
They don't.
That's what they said clearly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're saying that it was a gift. Taxpayers' money. 300 million naira gift. It's not Siminalayi Fubara's money. Taxpayers' money. And maybe...
You know the funny thing?
It's not even about this particular matter.
If it was Rivers money that they got as a gift, they had no business removing that conference from Rivers State.
I just said that it's not...
No,
they are not bound...
Yeah, but I'm just check what I'm saying.
Okay.
If it's Rivers State money and the governor has been suspended and it won't be back by the time of your conference, but you already have things in motion to go there. All you had to do was meet with the administrator to say, look, these are our plans and we just need to respect what you're here, even if we don't agree with what the president has done, but we just need to carry you along and let you know that we're having a conference here. We're not expecting anything from you. We're good. Do you understand? And all of this will not happen. Meeting with him does not mean you endorse him, actually. It just means that you respect the law. You're lawyers now. But you came out guns blazing saying everything it stands for, you cannot take, and you've moved. Then the man comes out with this. To me, it's a sucker punch. It's like you're winning a fight already, and they're about to ring the bell that this fight is over, and that sucker punch just comes from nowhere. It's very shameful, though. If you guys don't know, we are ashamed that the Nigerian Bar Association has stooped so low.
It was a gift. 300 million naira gift. And see, I think that this
you can even get the gift and be neutral, but you got the gift and became partisan. Because now you're there defending Fubara, and it's most likely because you got a gift, isn't it?
Yeah, because my own is, even the Supreme Court has shown us the number of infractions he has done. Not once has the NBA come out.
No, they can't condemn those
come out to condemn him
again.
And his actions.
Again,
not once.
What does that now say? That the fact that the Constitution,
it's okay that you don't agree with.
The law said something. You are custodians in a way. You are legal minds, and you didn't see anything wrong in all the proclamations that were made against him.
That's it. It's okay not to agree with the president.
Enough for him to be suspended.
So but it should also not be okay, because if we want to be fair, there could be a conversation that the president didn't have those powers, but there should also be the angle where even the Supreme Court agrees that what he did was wrong.
So where's the neutrality in the NBA?
I don't know what they're doing, but it's not looking good.
Stories,
it definitely is not looking good on that matter. Anyway, moving on from that, still talking a bit of politics. The PDP governors have now come out after their meeting in Oyo State to say that they should count them out of a merger or a coalition. That they're sticking with the PDP and they're working together. In case anybody wants to join the PDP for the next coming elections, they're fine, but they're not going anywhere and they're not merging with anybody for the 2027 elections.
Yeah, all the 29 PDP governors were in Ibadan.
29?
They're not really 29.
No.
All the 22 PDP governors were in
12.
Yes. You know, I don't know.
12.
11
12.
was Ibas there.
It's not a governor, it's a Sola administration.
Exactly. So how did they get 12?
Okay, sorry, 11.
Please correct yourself.
11.
Yeah.
So you know.
I do.
Oh wow.
I was just making mistakes.
Wow.
These are innocent mistakes.
Yeah, right.
Honest mistakes. So 11 PDP. Now 11 PDP governors remain.
Are you laughing? There are quite a number now. There is an APGA governor. There is the Labour Party governor. there's an NMPP governor. That's 14 out of 36.
The APGA governor. Who was the governor before the APGA governor became governor?
It was APGA now.
In where? Anambra State?
Yes, no.
Okay. The Labour Party governor. Who was the governor before he became governor?
Labour Party is in what state? Abia State. PDP.
Very good. NMPP. Who was governor?
APC.
Exactly. So, in all of this, PDP lost at least one state.
A few more.
A
few more.
Thank you. So, 11 PDP governors had a fruitful meeting in Ibadan. And basically what they've done now is that they put out a communique and they're saying that they're not going to be a part of it. But what this means is that we see their top striker, the main guy in PDP, which is Atiku, who has been going from pillar to post. He has Nasir El-Rufai in his corner. And we already know that there's a coalition that they're setting up. There's Aregbesola that they've had meetings with. They can't deny that one is out there.
Yeah, you know.
There's Fayemi that they've had meetings with. There's an headline you will see now that they have made inroads into the Niger Delta. They're talking about, spreading their...
Yeah, so Atiku had come out to say that the way it's going, that PDP, I think he's finally accepted, or would I, on his own part, that PDP alone cannot defeat APC, and that the only way that can happen is if there's a coalition.
So don't you get what the governors are telling him?
So
you don't see what the governors are telling him?
So they're saying that, be gone.
We're not playing with you. That's what they're telling him. Because he's pushing for a coalition. They are saying no, that if you want to join us, fine. But we are not going to join anybody
else.
Do you get...
also, Lagos...
Do you get that?
A Lagos PDP chieftain, Bode George, has also come to say that he has said categorically that if PDP gives Atiku, and I'm guessing he's talking about himself as well, yeah? If they give Atiku the ticket in 2027, that's the end of the party.
It might not necessarily be the end of the party. That party is too strong to just go like that. But it also shows that he's aligning with the governors.
I think so. Maybe.
So this shows you a clear divide in the PDP. That the governors are going one way, saying, we're staying here. Any coalition you people are doing, they should join us. But Atiku is saying, let us go to SDP. Let us get Peter Obi. Let us get everybody. Everybody. Let them come together. Do you understand that? They're looking at it like the ACN coalition.
Yeah, that
had
came the APC.
5 parties majorly.
Yeah. So
and that's what they are trying to do.
They want to pay APC in their own coin. However, and this is just my own conjecture. For someone that did it and did it well, would it also be easy for them to now be looking at you to do the same thing?
You see, again, even in doing it, you must have the main frame. You must have the first, and this is why I'm saying it. When they set up the APC.
So the bottom was still the ACN.
When they set up the APC, there were 2 presidential candidates, Atiku and Buhari. It's obvious that everybody, the bulk of them, supported Buhari. That's why Buhari won that primaries in Lagos ahead of Atiku. So for Atiku to set up a coalition now, he has to be the person, he has to be the main guy that is bringing everybody together, because he's not going to play second fiddle to anybody.
So he's going to contest again.
Isn't it obvious? You think he's just running around trying to set up something for someone else? Isn't it obvious?
I'm sure that there's nothing.
If he wasn't going to contest again, why do you think the governors are saying what? Why do you think Bode George said what he said? Do you understand? But what Abubakar Atiku needs to understand is that whatever structure that he's building and he's trying to put together, if he doesn't have the bargaining chips, and I'm not talking money now, I'm talking structure. If he doesn't have the thing that will make other people want to join him, like let him say,
more like join the PDP.
No, he's not talking about PDP. Even if he still uses PDP, he's not talking PDP. You know now that El Rufai is his person and they're already talking SDP. You get? So, what Atiku needs to say, okay, that he was able to get 6 million votes the last time. And so if you bring your own 6 million, we'll be able to beat anybody and all of that. Those are the things that he should be saying. But I'm saying that within that structure of 6 million, some governors are already pulling out.
I've left. A lot of them have left. A lot of people are not the same anymore.
Look at Delta State. State. The 3 senatorial districts are now APC. Look at Abuja. The guy that crossed.
Yeah, so I think one person crossed yesterday.
He crossed to where?
Yeah.
APC.
Yeah, in Kaduna as well.
Do you understand? So there are a lot of things that
have changed.
It's not the same. So, but he must be able to surmount that. And the coalition, for coalition's sake, will not work if you don't have those numbers and the spread. So setting up a coalition is easy. You can get all the big names. But all those people, what is their electoral? Tambuwa, what's Tambuwa bringing to the table? Sorry, what's El Rufai bringing to the table? El Rufai was governor and you saw the results that his party got.
Yeah.
They've actually lost Kaduna. So Alhaji Atiku must really be sure that the people he's bringing together are not just big names. They have big structures. He needs those structures more than their names.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Anyway, there are quite a number of things we might not be able to go through, but today, just wanted, before we go, we're kind of like almost out. But the second leg of the Champions League knockout stage is upon us. This is something that a lot of people have been looking forward to since last week. Today, we're going to be seeing Aston Villa and PSG. Who do you go?
I still think PSG will take it, regardless of the location of the match.
Yeah, I still think
PSG. They're playing very good football now.
There's a 3-1 advantage. Barcelona, Borussia Dortmund. There's a 4-0.
I think Barca is going to take it.
Yeah, and then tomorrow with the 2 games that they're going to be playing, Inter, Bayern. I think this is probably going to be
Inter is having a fantastic.
difficult.
They are having a fantastic season, and it might continue.
Yes, I think it might be.
And it's a sad one for Harry Kane. It just looks like I don't know.
I think this might be a bit difficult. This is probably the most difficult of the fixtures to call. But the one that everybody has been talking about, which is the same thing that happened last week, lived up to the hype. Is it going to live up to the hype again today? Tomorrow, the Real Madrid, Arsenal, there's been a lot of conjectures and all that.
Sentimentally, I actually want Arsenal to pull through. I like Arteta a lot as a coach, and I think he deserves. He's done well. He's most likely the only coach I've seen. Although there's been Emery and the rest of them, but I think he's most likely one that's come closest to Wenger's style of play and all of that. And I think he deserves some results and all of that. Sentimentally, I want Arsenal to pull through. Please don't take this as an advice to gamble. It's not, because anything can happen.
Anything can happen. So do you see them?
Tomorrow is a final.
Do you see Madrid having to score 4 goals without Arsenal returning any?
It's football. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. That's
and
very
those
true.
guys have been building up for tomorrow.
Yeah.
The fans, the ultras, everybody. So Arsenal must go there knowing that they're already at it. Forget the scoreline. You're at a disadvantage. What Arsenal needs to do, they have nothing to lose. Go there and score.
Yeah, keep up the.
How are they going to score you 5 goals if you score 1?
Yeah,
you understand?
Yeah, that's it. Anyway, on that note, that is all we able to take today on The Bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back again. Which camera am I looking at? This one. Yes. We'll be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. West African time to give you another wonderful edition of The Boomba. Do have a beautiful, beautiful day ahead.